into something you can't handle. I assure you. I work with people who do that. They think they can handle it. I say, you can't handle that. Don't mess with that. That's not what you're here for. Do your music, do your dance, do your writing. That's not what you're here for. So I wanted to let you know that what that did was, that helped me to understand who I was at the age of 24. And ever since then, I've had to dance a certain dance of dealing with life totally different than most people I know, except for those of you in this room. So I just wanted to share that. It was quite it was a performance of my soul to educate me. So thank you.
Hi, did you want to share something? Yeah, please. All right. So we're going to take about, maybe after Patty, maybe one more story because we're running a little late today, but this is wonderful.
Welcome back, Dottie.
Would you like to stand back here?
I'll come back here.
Okay.
We won't be able to see you, Patty.
I'm not that short.
Not that
short. Thank you. It's always great to be here. And I want to share an incident that happened to me a few years ago. And I was going through this really deep questioning period. I was connecting with spirits and Jesus and really wonderful spirits that we know about. And I just had such a wonderful connection with them. But I couldn't seem to get to a place where I could feel God. I just didn't feel it. And everybody around me was talking about God, and they just had these connections. I just didn't feel it. So I would go through these really deep questioning periods. And this one weekend, I had to go down to San Diego, and I flew down. And I went to the car rental. And when I got there, there was this really long line of people. And I thought, okay, this is going to take a long time. So I just got centered with myself. I said, well, let's just explore this question. Now here I am with all these people. I got my luggage. I'm leaning on my luggage. I said, you know, sometimes you have to ask yourself a really pointed and direct question. And I said, maybe I'm not feeling anything because maybe I don't believe in God. And at that moment, all this light, whoa, wow, came through me. Thank you, I got it. So that was my gift. That was my gift from Divine, and I just want to share it with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Time for maybe one more, and then April?
Well, does anybody else want to share?
Hey, Gail, you want to tell that story about the owl and the, you know, when you did the, God, if you really exist, show me a sign?
Oh, yeah.
That's such a funny one. Well, I mean, it's funny on you, but. But I think we all have experienced that.
There were a couple, and when I was going through some really difficult times, and I was driving home, it was very late at night, and I'm crying, which is not good to do when you're driving on 280. And I'd come off the road I lived on at the time, that was Alum Rock, and you come off, and as I'm coming off, I'm talking to Mom, and I said, Mom, I have faith, I know everything's going to be okay, but I really need a sign, because I was really, really in pain. I said, I just need a sign. I know it's going to be okay, but I really need a sign. I pull up to the light, in a little tiny strip mall off of Alum Rock and White Road, so you know it's kind of there are little tiny strip malls in through there. And I look over, and there's a panel truck, and what I was worried about was about if I was going to need to move or not. And I look over, and there's a white panel truck, and it says on it, Ma's Moving and Storage. I'm like, okay. And then a couple days later, I'm going to work, leaving, coming back in the direction, and I'm coming up to the light, and this white panel truck, Ma's Moving and Storage, goes driving by on the intersection. That was one. And then the second one was a different time, and I was driving down 880 just past the airport, and I again was having a rough time, and I was asking for a sign. This is what Clark was talking about. And this little blue ball of light is coming up next to me, and I'm on 880, so I'm driving pretty fast. Comes up like this, gets my attention, I look, and then it shoots out over the airport. Just goes over the airport. And I'm like, what just happened, you know? And I went, okay, if that's a sign, I want another sign, because you just don't quite believe yourself when you're really logic-based. And I'm like, if that was a sign, okay, then I started thinking, you're so stupid, you know, making fun of myself. And I said, okay, well, if that was a sign, then I need another sign, but it has to be 2 because it was a second, it has to be in the air. And I was just making fun of myself. Well, when you manifest and you use humor to manifest, it happens a lot faster. So when I pulled into the court at the front of the house, I'm parking the car, and I start hearing this weird noise, this really strange noise. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm looking, and in the court behind the house I was living in, these 2 things come flying out, and there are 2 of them. They're flying like this over the court, and then they go back behind the house. And I'm like, what? And then they come back, and they go back like this, and they come back. And my roommate at the time was sitting out front with a friend. And I went over and I said, did you see that? What was that? Because they were silvery and light was reflecting off of them. And her friend said, oh, those are bats. But they were like huge, huge bats. And we'd been living there for 5 years and had never seen bats out there like that. But the sound I was hearing was the sonar, because they were just coming in and out. Wow. Just like, okay, well then I went,
Was that
holy
sign?
moly, that was 2 in the air, and that was the other sign. It was like, it's just 2. Okay, thanks.